Do you know, if there could be an award for the ultimate botcher, I mean recycler, then I should get it for this. I'll be with you in a minute, I think. Problem here is when you've got so many different TVs that you use as monitors, occasionally you switch on and they don't want to work. And would you believe that this Polaroid here has died? The picture was flickering and now the picture has gone. So the screen's gone on that. It's nothing I can do. One for the bin. But anyway, I don't think that's going to cause me any problems tonight, even though I do like having a monitor there, because it allows me to see what I'm doing, basically. It's always nice to be able to see what you're doing, don't you think? Right, I'm running out of time a bit. I've got two LGs and I wanted to make one good one out of two. I don't think I'm going to be doing that now. I'm going to see if I can botch some backlights into this. Let's just have a look at this. This is an LG. And as you can probably see, you can't see because, again, that's exactly why I need that monitor in front of me. But now you can see it's got a very blue pick. It's an LG 43. It's about 7 or 8 years old. And it is a 4K TV, and it's as nice as they can possibly be. But, shock horror probe, I do not have the backlights for this. I have loads of LG backlights, and I haven't got the backlights that are supposed to be in here. So, bearing in mind I have got hundreds of spare backlights from TVs that I've either over-ordered or backlights that don't get used. Let's just stick something in to give us a white picture. It may not be a brilliant white picture. This will answer the question, can you botch different backlights into TVs? Well, you can if you get the voltage and the current approximately right. Then it won't start shutting down. But if you do something that's an undercurrent or an overcurrent, the backlights will switch off. But the people that design these things, they know what they're doing and they know how to get the best picture quality. And that's why you should always replace backlights like for like. I think there are 3 strips of 7 in here. And I've got 3 strips of 8, I believe. So I don't know if that's going to cause an overcurrent or an undercurrent. And I don't think, well, it's 3 extra backlights. So it's 9 extra volts. It could do. It could cause a problem. The other thing is if you're going way off. I mean, the backlights here go along the middle, top, and the bottom. But if you're putting them in different positions, so if you've got a different set of backlights, even with the correct current and voltage, you could end up not having a nicely covered backlit screen, if you know what I mean. So you have to be careful. You can stick backlights in, you can get a picture, but there may be blotches, there may be gaps, there may be halos. But I just suddenly thought tonight, let's just see what happens. Let's disassemble this TV. Let's stick in the backlights that I have. I have got LG backlights, and I've got backlights for a 43-inch. But they're not the original backlights for this. So I may have to do some soldering. There may have to be some super glue and blue tack. But let's just see what the end picture quality is like. Again, I'm not going to sell this TV. In fact, this TV may end up going over there now that one's gone. In fact, it probably will for the next few days. No, I've got another 50-inch to go. It can go over there for tonight. But anyway, let's disassemble this and see what we can do. Well, my research was wrong, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I was so close. But the connections will be the same. Will it cause a problem? Let's take the clips out. One doesn't want to come out. I need a bit of slack with the wire. It's only been held in by a bit of tape. So, if worst comes to the worst, could I cut 2 off? Yeah, but I don't think I'm going to have to do that. I don't think so. Without looking at the resistors on the power supply and going through a schematic, which I ain't going to bother doing for this job. Oops, got that wrong, didn't I? Well. Yeah, without looking at the resistors on the power supply, LG have so many variations, but they also use the same power supply, so there's a chance we're going to be okay. If not anything else, if it'll give it a brighter picture. But I'm not going underneath. I will stick these on top. So I may have to make a slight incision to cut the wires through and put these in. But the first thing we need to know is, will it actually power up? Or will it shut them down straight away? I'll switch off first. Let's hope the TV is not in standby and I have to go faffing for the IR sensor. Okay, let's switch on and see if the extra 3 backlights are going to cause a problem. It's in standby. Well, it's either in standby or they don't like it. Let me just connect this infrared sensor up. Is that the infrared? Yeah, that should be the infrared. No, it's not. I'm going to have to switch off again. It was the infrared. Right, was this TV in standby? No, it's coming on. except it's not coming on. Now, there's another reason why it probably isn't coming on. What do you think that could be? No, the plus and minus are in the same. They're in the same area. I didn't disconnect them, did I? No. Oh, they're bi-wired. They're wired into two different sets. Oh. And of course these won't be wired for that. Oh, poop. Why is there always something? I've just been to the boys' room and I've left a microphone in the toilet. I'm not going back for it. I've got plenty of spare mics. Let me explain what I mean by. I'm sure you understand. I'm sure you understand. Let me just get rid of this one over here. We can do this, I think. We can do this. I don't think LG have been very protective about how many LEDs are used. I mean, it is going to be a constant current, but there could still be a problem with the voltage. But I'll switch some lights out. What can you... Yeah, let me get a different camera angle. So let me switch off the mobile cam for a second. That's gone. Let me try and position this camera so you can see all the back. Well, you don't need to see them all, but you need to see. That will do. And I will... How's that? What about that? Okay. This is the plug that goes into the back of the power supply. What I mean by bi-wired is, look, there are two sets. So why two sets when there's only three? Two sets if there's two, or two sets if there's four, yeah. But why two sets if there's three? Most bizarre. So, I'll switch the lights off so you can see. Feed 1 does strip 1 and 2. We've got one out as well. That's quite rare for these to have one out, to be honest with you. Every single one is blue. So feed 1 does strips 1 and 2. And feed 2 just does the bottom strip. I'm keeping the lights like this for a second. I hope you can see, because let's just take a plug out of strip 1. We are recording, aren't we? Yes. So, we've disconnected the original top strip. We now have our new top strip. If I was to plug this back into the power supply and turn the TV on, what do you think would happen? Correct. We'd have no backlights at all. It doesn't recognize this. It doesn't like this. And there's a reason why. So once again, if I go positive, negative on the top strip, which is supposed to bring the top and the middle, we get nothing. If I do the same on the bottom, that lights up. But if I change the polarity, the top strip lights up. Lights coming on. So even though, and I hope you can see, I'll put both strips side by side, even though that says positive, negative, and that says positive and negative in the right place, in exactly the same place. That's not the case. They're switched around at the plug. So that's the reason why they didn't light up. So what's the answer to this? The answer to this is to once again put them back in as I did before, but then just change the wires around. So that black one, switch it to the white one, that white one, switch it to the black one, and vice versa. That is the quickest and easiest way on here. Switch those around. The quickest and easiest way to reverse the polarity. And I think now I've noticed that the power supply can handle 2 strips on one channel and 1 strip alone on the other channel. Sorry, it's gone out of focus. I don't think it will have a problem. So I am just going to swap those over, do snip and a bit of tape. It's not going to look pretty. I will, if it works, and it should do, I will then do some soldering and some heat shrinking treatment. But let's just do a bit of botch with wires and tape for now. So, snip. Can you see? Because my hand's in the way. I'm really sorry. I'll lift that up a bit. Well, let's do this channel first. This is not a customer's TV, by the way. I'd never do this with a customer's TV. Has my nose just gone bigger? Well, I would if it was the only way, but I would say to the customer, what I have to do is, I hope you're all right with it. And most customer would say, I haven't the faintest idea what you're talking about, just give me a TV that works. Okay. So, I'm going to wrap the black and white together. You don't always have to do this, but obviously these backlights are technically a reverse polarity, even though it doesn't look like it from the markings. Do the same on the other channel. Now there are some people who are going to be completely disgusted with this, saying, and you're right, it's not a repair. Well, it is a repair. Sometimes you have to hack things to work them, but some people don't like the idea. You know, go and buy the proper backlights and wait. Exactly. But how many times have we replaced proper backlights for proper backlights? What if you want to have a bit of fun? What if you're doing this for a hobby and you get a TV in that's got blue backlights, but you've got loads of other sets of backlights from TVs that you've collated? So what I'm doing here is teaching people bad habits. As I say, there are some people that will disagree with it, and I look forward to your litigation. And there are some people, there's one of my friends in particular that has a YouTube channel whose voice I can hear in the back of my head saying, go on, my son, make it as dodgy as you like, go on. If ever you want me to come around your house and wire in your cooker, you only have to ask. I've got plenty of white tape. Let me plug that back into the power supply. I don't know if you can see. I mean, look at that. If the CEO of LG is watching this, he's going to be saying to himself, get that man over here. Get him in our workshops. That's the sort of engineer we want. That's the sort of critical thinking of a person we need. Anyway. So back to what I was doing. But I did say at the start, to do this, you have to break some eggs. And even that's starting to fall to bits. But I would need that to fall to bits anyway, so I could... That's fine. In fact, that's quite good. I'll do that here as well. Whereabouts do I need it? Just there? Can't keep doing boring, straightforward repairs all the time. You've got to have a bit of excitement, haven't you? Right. Do you want to switch on? Oh, let's have a look. Well, it doesn't really matter, does it? They're either all going to light up or none's going to light up. What do you think? None. I've done this loads of times. I've done the reverse polarity loads of times, but I haven't done it where you're adding extra bulbs. Now, the only thing I could do, of course, is chop a bulb off each. But I don't know if I really want to do that. That's ruining a set, isn't it? Oh, I don't have to chop a bulb off, though, do I? I can. I can put a little blob and short out. To stop the circuit getting over there. Put a blob of solder just there. It will send the circuit back round, bypassing that one. I'll just test with my test meter that yeah, can you see? So if I do that to all three, that should be right. I suppose at this stage, since I've come this far, I should give a little warning. Don't try this at home. This is obviously me just trying to prove a point, and I'm trying to prove a point to myself. Ooh, that was the wrong place. I mean, I have to give that warning, but, you know, you're big enough, old enough and ugly enough to do what you want. You know, if you want to go and have a bath tonight with the toaster plugged in, go and do it. God, that sounded very Cornish. Go do it. Go do it, my lover. I better test them all, hadn't I? Middle one. Yep. Bottom one. Yep. So now it's the right amount of LEDs. I've just had to reverse the polarity. There can't be anything special about these LEDs. No. It's the right amount of LEDs. And I've kept... it doesn't matter. But just in case one side of the power supply is supposed to have more current than the other, I didn't change them around. So it will still drive those two. So this should now work. Are you going to place your bets? Come on, place your bets. You don't automatically have to have faith in me. I know you think I'm a genius. I know you've got posters of me on your bedroom wall. I know. But you don't have to trust everything that I say and do. You know, have your own opinion. If you think this is going to catch fire and I'm going to run out like a little girly, you say that. But let's think of it logically. What's changed now, apart from the polarity? Because these are different polarity lights. Apart from that, it's exactly the right amount. And if this now comes on, it will prove... What will it prove? It will prove that they didn't come on before because the shutdown system doesn't like the extra 3 backlights. Ow, will you just press the button and shut up? Yeah, okay. Right, switching on now. What was that? Genius? Sorry, did somebody say... Somebody said what? Genius. I didn't hear that. Just get them to put it in the comments. Yeah, I'm too busy. Get them to put it in the comments. Now, there is an issue. Can you see what the issue is? The issue is the lights I've put in are not spaced out as much as... Spaced out, man. Sorry, you're seeing a slight flickering. That's not happening in real life. So these lights aren't spaced out. It's going to be very dark up this end. So I am going to cut this end off, aren't I? Well, I can do that now, it works. But it's going to be a bit dark around the ends, isn't it? Eh? Do you know what I want to do? I'm going to take that solder... Don't touch that. I'm going to take that solder blob off, because this is the circuit that's got plenty of room for manoeuvre. I'm going to take that solder blob off. I am. We should be able to... I want that light to light up. I may try and get away with another one. Oh dear. That's such a shame. But that's what I was saying in the beginning when we started this, that this would work, but we're going to see some dark patches down the side, or it's just not going to be as well lit up down the side. Well, it looks like I'm using it for a flipping monitor now anyway, so it doesn't matter. But let's see if I can get this one to light up. It would be better if I get this one to light up, so hang on a second. Oops, I've just bridged it again. And again, that's done it. Right. So I've unbridged this now. Now, are you thinking what I'm thinking? I'll tell you what I'm thinking in a second. Let's just see if this works. I think this will work. I think the bottom set... Anyway, let's see. The bottom set's not going to be an extra strain on the power. Again, you're seeing them do their dancing stuff. I'm sorry, but it's no. So that's fine.
Sorry, you can't see with the camera. My fault, but that has lit up again.
I'm going to try and do it on the top set to see if it could handle it, but it might fail on the top set. It might fail. And if it does fail, I'll put it back and I'll move the full set to the middle. It'll give us a bit more better light, because you always look in the middle of the screen, don't you? Or I've just realised something. Or well, let's see if I can do one more. If I can do one more and it lights up, that's great. But of course there's a join in the middle. So I could actually... Couldn't I? I could separate them a bit. Yeah, but you don't want to leave a gap in the middle, because that's exactly where people look. Let's just see if I can get away with one more. I hadn't unplugged it. It's a good job I was just about to, because there would have been some voltage in there. Oh, hang on a minute. Which one was I doing? Which one should I do? I should do the top one. I'm surprised it's that sensitive. Oh, I've just thought of another idea. Which I may do, you know, since we've come this far. I think that's still. Okay. If this channel can handle more, which I'm sure it can, I don't believe they've set it up differently. If this channel could do more, I could use this channel to power those two, couldn't I? It's got to be worth a go while we're faffing around. Anyway, let's just see if it can handle, that channel can handle that extra one. If that channel can handle the extra one, I will get this channel to light that one up. Okay? Mm-hmm. Let's see. No. Oh, I'm not plugged in the middle. I'm not plugged in the middle. Go. Come on. Come on. Yes. So it's just that one extra 3 volts it doesn't like. Does that make sense? One extra 3 volts. So now why don't I get this channel because this can handle more. Why don't I get this channel to power that light? Got to be the way. We've come this far. Be a shame to have a bit of a dark edge. Be a lovely bright picture then, wouldn't it? I know you're seeing something flicker here. But it's just a reflection. Yes, 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 yes. Yes. So I've got to cut this off, take the positive and negative, and get it fed from here. I'm worried about chopping because these are cheap aluminium, and if you cut them, you can cause shorts. I'm going to cut it off anyway. These are my big cutters that I used to use to snip LED. God, look at the size. But they've gone rusty. Oh, look at them. When they were new, 10 years ago, probably 15 years ago, when they were new, I would use these to chop backlights. A bit like this. Oh, that felt good. It doesn't matter if that's shorted out anyway, because we've shorted it out there. I mean, yes, it's going to look a mess. I said it was going to look a mess at the start. Right. I know it looks a real mess at the moment, and that's because it looks a real mess. But obviously, I haven't had to alter the top two. The top one now. It's the it's this one that we've adjusted, and I've added a wire to the bottom. So basically, that now acts as the ground out, and it will go all the way back. I mean, obviously, when I put it back together, these wires are going to be hidden, and it's going to be put back professionally with blue tack and sellotape. But it will be hidden if this works. Again, you're seeing them flicker, but now every single one is lit up. So we're running that channel and that channel basically to its max, but there was plenty of scope to add some extra LEDs for this channel. So that now means there won't be any gaps in the picture, because that can go back quite a bit. So I'm going to take out the old strips, stick these over, hide the wires, put the screen back and plug it in. So just give me 10-15 minutes to take out the old strips. The only thing I've decided not to do is to use the sticky double-sided tape on these, just in case something goes wrong down the line and I do have to order the correct set. So I'm just going to use some tape to hold them in place.
It is worth me pointing out at this stage that a brand new set of backlights for this unit from AliExpress is £4.80. So I'm not doing this to save money. It's just that I've got some spare lights. In fact, I've got loads of spare LEDs for LGs. And when I say loads, I mean loads, because I used to buy them in boxes of 12 sets. And there are some that are just not getting used up that's in the lockup. And I saw them all there today and I suddenly thought, do you know what? I know it's only under £5 from Ali. Well, it's 10 quid because you have to buy 2 sets to get free postage. You have to spend over £8 to get the free postage. But I thought, I've got so many that I'm not going to use that will probably end up being thrown away if I don't find a use for them. So, on non-customer TVs, and I thought it would make a good video for the channel too, I've decided that I've got to use some of them up. At the end of the day, this channel is about saving stuff from landfill, including my new lights.
That one is stuck down. There is something else that needs a bit of tape that I bet you wouldn't even think of. And it's only because I've been faffing around a lot, obviously, with the connectors. And it does make such a massive difference on LGs in particular. And yeah, you can see this? This is supposed to be the up bit. But because I've torn a bit, so I'm going to put some tape down here. Otherwise, that little gap there would leave a shadow. In fact, there's a possibility that that piece of tape may cause a shadow. May. Possibly not. Switch it on one final time here before we reassemble everything. That's the wrong way. That should be down, that should be up. There you go. Right, okay. Now, the one thing you have to do with these, if you don't want to end up having a cracked screen, because even though the screen is in and it's in place and it's in place properly, is put all these clips back in. And they're just as awkward to put in as they are to get out. This was a really bad design. But after doing what I've done to the TV, I can hardly comment, can I? But there we go. They're going back in. They're going back in. They're going back in. Otherwise, it puts the bottom of the screen bezel at an angle and it puts pressure on the screen. Is that every one in? Yeah, it is. Now, I will say it before anybody says it in the comments. No, not that. Obviously, the correct thing to do is to get the correct backlights, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the time that it's taken for me to do this. It would have been quicker to order a set of backlights from China. Wait for them to come in. Actually, no, it's taken an extra hour. I mean, the whole job's taken 2 hours. Just a bit over. Just a bit. But sometimes in life, and this will happen, correct backlights will not be available. And sometimes you are going to have to learn to, I'm not going to use the word botch, I'm going to use the word adapt. And that's exactly what I've done today. I've adapted. The only thing I've got to do is solder those connections up, which I will do tomorrow. The other thing I need to do, this is not a 4K TV. I don't think this is a 4K TV. So I don't think I can use it as a monitor. I'll give it a go in a second, but I don't think I can. I don't think this is 4K. I'm going to keep saying that. I've got a monitor to replace this. Is it a Techwood? Polaroid. Do you remember that one I faffed around with last week for ages to try and get the picture? I was wobbling the connection on the main board. Ooh, that was a faff. But yes, that's exactly why I do them. That's exactly why I fix a lot of them up. I very rarely sell TVs now, unless it's a 55-inch that I've put a new set of backlights in and I can give a warranty to. They're the ones I make a bit of money on. Won't make any money. If I could make any money on this, I wouldn't have done this video tonight. I'd have put the correct backlights in. Who's to say the way I've done it tonight isn't going to last longer than putting original set in? Be a brave man that says that, but somebody may say that. Does that stand for ultra high? I don't know. I've just got a feeling that this isn't 4K, but we'll find out in a second because I'm going to plug it into the monitor. I'm going to plug it into this. And if it doesn't give us a picture, then we'll know. HDMI 2. Just remember that. Oh God, have I got an LG remote here? Isn't that embarrassing? I'm really short on LG remotes. They're all in the other workshop. Oh well, we'll soon see. So all that faffing about just to get rid of a blue screen. I need to find an LG remote. Look, it's bringing up the options for Hisense. Why are Hisense and well, we've got Sky Q lit up. They've obviously entitled their HDMI 2 Sky Q, who had it last. I don't know where I got this TV from. I just can't remember.
I don't know if you've noticed, because obviously I've edited quite a bit out, but the LG remote is also affecting the Hisense TV. It's sharing some remote control codes, which is weird, but it does happen.
But there we go. Obviously it is 4K because it's giving me a picture. And it's a very nice picture too, as far as pictures go. It's obviously a duplication of that one over there. I won't mess around with the backlight settings or do anything like that. I've done enough for tonight, to be honest with you. What time is it? It's only 5 to 11. I've worked later than this before, but I did start a bit early. And again, I will edit this video down as much as I can, but I bet you it's going to be a good 45 minutes to an hour. Because that says 1 hour 42, and I did about 25 minutes on part 1, so it's taken 2 hours to botch it, which is why you should always put the original backlights. But sometimes it's fun to go round the hard route, isn't it? Yes. The off button doesn't work on this, so I'll press that. Thanks, people. Good night.